Hi everyone, Namaskaram. So I thought I'll share my Kailash experience today. I went to Kailash Manasarovar in 2019 and just last year. So it was, Sadhguru always says that yeah, unless you experience something, you do not know that such a thing exists in this world. So you got to experience something to know that it's there. So Kailash was something like that for me. I don't like to often share my spiritual experiences because I just don't find any real sense in doing that, to be honest. And because it is so subjective, that is something that people got to experience themselves rather than us talking about it. But the reason why I decided to share this today is because I wanted to, possibly motivate some other Kailash aspirants or people who have, people who might just get motivated by just listening to this. So hopefully I'm just sharing it only for that reason. So when I went to Kailash, I just went there because Sadhguru had recommended out of all the places in this world, that's what he recommended, Kailash Mansarovar. He highly recommended that. So uh, I don't know how to put this in words and which one to choose, which one to pick out of all the experiences, but I'll try to briefly uh, go over a few points that were very major for me, which will, you know, let's see how I can do this. So basically, there were moments, the way I felt at that place, it's very different from how I feel here on land, in a city. When I came back from Kailash, when I landed in a city, that's a place I went from in the first place. So I was like, uh, did I really go from here? I mean, I felt, that's how I felt was I came from my home back to somewhere that's not my home. So Kailash felt I only spent 2 days over there. Okay, 2 days at real Kailash Mansarovar. But the trip itself was 15 days. But the when I came back, it was like as if that was my home, and where I have landed now is, although I lived here all my life, but this is not, this looked like completely new to me, and something where I really was not that eager to be. It felt like completely new to me, as if I've never been here. I was not willing to believe. Intellectually, I knew that this is where I went from, but in my heart, I felt like that's my home. In my heart, I felt like I left my home and came back to somewhere that where I don't belong. And that was very strange. Why would I feel that? Because this is my home, my everything, the things, the positions, everything is here. But why would I feel that for Kailash? Because intellectually, it's difficult to understand why I felt that in just 2 days. And then, some of the things like, this is something similar to what Sadhguru has spoken. Please don't misunderstand me. But when I looked at the mountains, the range of mountains, didn't happen all the time. There were moments when this happened, but I immediately, there were tears in my eyes, and they were completely unexplained. I was full of gratitude. Gratitude to whom? I do not know. Just gratitude. It's simply gratitude. The tears of gratitude were just flowing. And there was something that I could feel in the mountain ranges, in the grass, in the flowers, in the weeds, even the weeds, whatever I saw. There was something that I could feel that was I have seen flowers and trees all my life and mountain ranges before this also, but I didn't feel that way, the way I felt it over there. And there was something about, I don't know what was it, or I don't know how to say it, but there was something very special that I could feel over there. I could see those things in a very different way, the way I didn't see them before. And I was crying. I was crying, and I was like, something was so obvious. Just by looking at the mountain range, something was so obvious. I do not know what that something is, but something was so obvious, And I felt like I missed it all my life. Oh, I missed it all my life. But what is that? I do not know. But I was just crying out of joy. These were mixed emotions. There was joy, there was gratitude. Gratitude to Sadhguru, that he made it possible for us. Because of his grace, I'm an asthmatic patient. If I went there alive and came back from there, I believe it was his grace that took care of me. So it was amazing. And then when I was walking the path up there was a small trek to Kailash and the actual Kailash mountain. And when I was walking, there were brief moments where I was paying attention to my footsteps, and I would look at that particular weed, a yellow flower or something like that, and I was be completely stunned. I was just, okay, what is it? Like this, what is it? It's just a flower. In our understanding, it's just a flower. But why was I so stunned to look at a flower which I've anyway seen many times in my life? I don't know what made it so special. I do not know why that flower was so special for me. I don't really understand what that experience was, but it was very nice. And I didn't want to lose it. So when I was leaving Kailash, I was not happy, that because I knew once I go back to where I came from, I'll be the same person again. And honestly, I didn't want to lose what I had, in Kailash. What amazing experience it was. I didn't want to leave that and go. But I am at the same time, I'm very grateful to the grace that has made this happen to me, and I have nothing to complain. I have nothing to complain. So even if the very fact that I was able to experience something that was beyond my understanding is enough for me. Enough, very, 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 it's a very huge thing for me that I've gotten. Uh, that's all I want to say. Thank you.